Hi, folks. We've finished another week here. It's Friday already. Looking forward to the weekend. Here's your view from Texas Street, Alexandria Cam. Thanks to Sinlaw Broadcasting. We've got your Alexandria Cam showing some clouds, but it's mostly sunny, a little bit hazy at times. Let's check some other destinations out. We haven't been down in LeBeau in a while. Let's go down there and get us something good to eat at the supermarket and restaurant. So a little bit more cloudiness in that direction. There's been some rain to the south of there. So a little bit more dense cloud cover, but you go the opposite way toward into beautiful Toledo Bend where we see fewer clouds, more sun, and not much traffic on the bridge just yet. But you know there are folks up there that are going to go this weekend. So a hot weekend is ahead. Be ready for heat indices over 100 in places. Pattern change, though, happens next week. So rain and storms break the heat next week. Got the details coming up for you. Let's go first to radar, local radar, where we see a little bit of action to the south of us, and it's pretty much staying in that direction. We have had a few isolated showers. That's why I do these 10%, folks, to keep that kind of stuff covered. And it looks like there may be a little fire there across southern areas of Vernon Parish to the southeast and northeast of Rose Pine, right in through this particular area. I'll do about an hour on that. As far as the motion, you can see that's just kind of pretty stationary there. So that's not a shower. So it's probably either some kind of controlled burn or a wildfire, probably a controlled burn, I would say, over in that direction. Let's check out things beyond this into the larger scale, where we see surface low to the north, dry line to the south. A little bit of clockwise flow right there. You can see it kind of subtle. There's not much clouds to work with there for our eyes to see, but there's that clockwise rotation right there. That's where the center of the hot bubble of air is, and then further away from it, rain and storms going there through the Tennessee Valley. Let's check out some things going into the weekend. So we'll step you through the weekend here for Saturday morning. Grocery shopping, mid-morning, no problems. Hot and humid, though. Saturday afternoon, going to be out fishing, cooking, something like that. We've got an isolated shower or storm not out of the question. Coverage will be pretty low. And then once we get into Saturday evening entertainment, things are looking pretty good in that direction. But take precautions from the heat this weekend, both days. Now, Sunday morning for church, no problems. It'll just be hot and humid, even that early on the way to church and Sunday school. But as we get into Sunday evening, things will start taking shape. Weather coming out of the north, some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms coming in that direction. And those storms will have some of that heat energy to build on. And so that is exactly what I was telling you yesterday. I think what happened is Storm Prediction Center will go into Sunday and Monday for severe weather outlooks. So a few storms late Sunday evening could be severe. So tropical interest areas real quick, next 7 days, nothing in the Atlantic. A couple of systems likely in the Eastern Pacific, and that's typically the case. Eastern Pacific usually gets going before the Atlantic does. Futurecast. All right, we're back to our wind barbs here, wind arrows. So here's the center. This goes into right now, so this evening. There's the center of the high pressure right in through there. All right. So there's the surface high, the upper level high, I'm sorry, and then the clockwise flow around that. That's a hot bubble of air this time of year. And then as we look beyond that, I'm going to put this into motion and let it go to, let's see, we're going to Sunday afternoon. Notice this huge system up to the north of us, more like a wintertime, cool season type of system up there. A lot of energy associated with that. But we also notice a change down here is that the hot bubble of air, the high pressure, has worked over to the west into northern Mexico. And we have a little bit of flow up and over that high and then kind of coming down the roller coaster hill right there into our area. That little bit of energy is going to work on the heat that's available, and we will see that create those showers and thunderstorms late Sunday. Not a lot of it, but again, there's some severe potential with that. Now fast forward into Monday morning where we see this huge system continuing up to the north of us, and you see even more energy working through. Notice how the wind arrows are closer together. That's more energy overhead, and so with moisture instability left over from the heat this weekend, and a seasonably warm day Monday. We got rain and storms in the forecast there, and some of that could be severe. And once we go through this, look how this system kind of migrates to the east and we lose it, disappears. But by Wednesday morning, or midday, 11 o'clock, there is yet in the Permian Basin of Texas, another system develops much further to the south, much weaker and not as big. But it's going to be enough to keep an unsettled pattern in our forecast. So you can see as I fast forward into Thursday, have lifts up into Oklahoma, and we have kind of a brisk flow coming in out of the southwest. So on top of instability and the moisture that we will have, that will be enough to keep our rain and storm chances going into Thursday. And then finally, going through the rest of next week into Friday morning, once again, say about 11 o'clock, that system now is up into the corn and wheat belts there. Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa. But down this way, we still see kind of the remnants of it. See, there's that little bit of a southwesterly flow right there, right in through here. And so that little bit of energy left over will continue to be able to trigger rain and storms in our forecast as we head through next week. So severe potential from the Storm Prediction Center. The bullseyes off to the west of us. We were just in a low end risk on Sunday. But even though we may not see much in the way of numbers of storms on Sunday and the Sunday night time frame, certainly with that heat, there could be some severe weather. And once again, here's the outlook for early next week. So both areas do include Sinlock. So here's your 7-day forecast. Not much rain expected this weekend. We do get about a 1 in 3 shot Sunday. Highs averaging 95. Heat indices could hit 105 in the worst places, and the nights will be very warm, 75, 76, folks. That's very warm even for midsummer. Notice what happens on Monday. Daytime temperatures come down to manageable levels, kept down by the rain and storms. Nighttime readings are lower, but more seasonal, okay? Low 70s for the most part there. And I don't have a day next week where we get below 60% in the rain chances. So 80, 90, 80, 70, 60. That's a wet week for June, folks, but they happen. And so there are your severe potentials as well, covering the Sunday, Sunday night, Monday morning, and then throughout the day, Monday, Monday night, and Tuesday morning, once again for an unsettled period there. So that's your 7-day forecast. If you need rain, it's in the forecast. I think it'll come next week. All right, so thanks for being with me. Nick will see you in the morning. I'll see you again in the PM. We'll keep our eyes on the weather this weekend, and thanks for your support for Sinlaw Weather, and have a safe and fun Saturday.